Greetings, dear brothers and sisters, dear sons and daughters in the most magnificent light. I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. And how wonderful it is that you are here together with us in our presence. How wonderful it is that you can enjoy the divine teachings coming to you. And how wonderful it is that we can bless you and bless your most beautiful lives. Because here in this important time, you are here and you are recognizing divine wisdom and you are feeling it in your own lives. And when you come here, friends, you are making sense of your world. You are opening your eyes to all of truth. And you are seeing how things work. You are also beginning to understand divine purpose and the divine plan. And you are here understanding divine truth. And you are seeing the gates being opened to the greatness for mankind. So we as divine masters will say to you, welcome to all those who desire to understand truth and who desire to understand light and who desire to understand deeper purpose. For when you are here, friends, you are understanding deeper purpose for mankind. You are understanding what deeper alignment means. You are seeing your eyes being opened. You are awakening to something that is so precious within you. And so these times, these meetings become so important to you. As you learn to flow your lives with more beauty and love. So we will always say to each and every one who comes to these divine meetings of love and truth, welcome. Welcome, dear ones, for you are so blessed in divine light. Tonight you will have a magnificent feast of truth and love. You will understand deeper purpose greater. You will understand deeper activations greater. And you will see why it's so important to stand in your light together. And for the ones who desire peace and love upon this plane, these are certainly magnificent times you are living in. For you will see how collective consciousness will come about upon your plane so that all of the light workers can pull in the love and the light and bring peace and love upon your plane. This is why this time is so significant. I will allow myself to step back now for a few moments to allow Sarah, Pleiadian High Priestess, to come through for you with a magnificent prayer and a blessing from the star beings of love who desire to speak to you and who desire to work with you greater, to bring their ways of higher evolution to mankind so that you can step into deeper perfection of all that is. And then I shall return. Greetings, I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. Akomoha Halima. Greetings. I am Sarah, Pleiadian Master, Pleiadian Guide, Pleiadian High Priestess Ashiena. We say from the Pleiadian realms to your realm, welcome, dear ones, welcome to the family of light. For when you are in the family of light, the light will always show you the way. On our realms we have a saying, when one is in the light, one rejoices in the light. For the light will always show one the way. And when one carries the torch of light, then the light will always show purpose to that one. We say, Ashuna Kawuya Ilhapua. When the one sees the light shining before him, that one will always remain in the light. For when one is touched by light, then one embraces the light. We ask you as light workers, do you desire to be in the great light? Do you desire to feel the divine light? Do you desire to understand divine direction? For when you feel the divine light from the divine great ones, then you become touched by the divine light. And in that moment you begin to change. Because when one has seen the light, when one has been touched in the heart by the great light, one begins to embrace it, and you can never walk away from it, because you begin to see with your greater eyes. I desire to bring a prayer to mankind. This prayer is from the star beings of love. And when I say the star beings of love, we talk in unison together, because there are many races who desire to become one with the family of light, all together embracing you to bring you into our greater family. But we can only do this when you open your higher ears and when you open your higher eyes to the light. For then we can embrace you as you then can embrace us. And we say, peace be with the workers of light upon this plane. Greetings, I am Sarah, Pleiadian Master, Pleiadian Guide, Pleiadian High Priestess. Greetings. Greetings, I have returned. I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. And tonight, what a beautiful teachings there are for you. For you will learn to embrace light greater. You will learn to stand in greater joy and greater peace. I am from incredibly high divine energies of greatness and love. I bring my channel, Suzanna Maria Emmanuel, to the earth, so that the people can hear the words from the great divine divine being spoken to you, so that the people can feel the divine energies flowing through into your hearts to make you understand divine light and divine will and divine alignment. And how grand it is for the ones who understand and who are learning to understand divine ways. Before I bring this most beautiful teaching to the people this evening, I would like to state briefly who I am as Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, and how my relationship began with this most beautiful channel, Suzanna Maria Emmanuel. I approached her in your time in 2009, and I said to her that I, Lord Emmanuel the Great, am an incredibly high divine being, the greatest of all the beings, the greatest of all the archangels, the greatest of all the lords, and the greatest of all of creation. Suzanna found this incredibly difficult to hear. And when she tried to explain it to some of her friends, they said, how could that be? No one can channel a being as high as that. It must be all in your imagination, Suzanna. Either that or your ego has gone completely out there. They actually said completely crazy. However, it was not her ego, and it was not her imagination. And there was a time very soon, after 2009, that I said, go and teach groups and bring my teachings through. And she said, how am I going to do that, Lord Emmanuel? And I said to her, just go and do it, friend. And she did. And it took her a lot of courage, as it does every time. Before every time she goes into trance, she prays and she asks for the greatest messages to come through. Please, she says, please help the people understand. So very slowly I had to reveal to her who I was and who I am, as Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. And I brought her the answers that she was looking for. I told her that I was the one that brought through the teachings of Jesus 2,000 years ago, and the people knew Jesus as the one walking with the divine and Emmanuel. And so Emmanuel was very well known in the times of Jesus. Now I have returned. So at first, when she began to channel, I called myself Emmanuel, because she could not comprehend my divinity, and she was not in a position to accept how high I am. And then after a while I began to explain more to her how there was no one greater above me apart from my Father, the Great Divine, and I will explain it very shortly. So I began to call myself Lord Emmanuel the Great. So Lord Emmanuel the Great began to be talked about. And then it was Divine Universal Master Lord Emmanuel the Great, the greatest Lord of all of existence. And Suzanna was always saying to her masters, how will the people understand that you're the greatest? Because this sounds like a fantastic and magnificent story, Divine Masters. But prove it. So we needed to prove it to her first. We needed to help her reason with it first. And once we could reason with her, it was accepted by her. And once something is accepted by her, she allows herself to go deeper. So we need the trust of the channel before we can bring deeper teachings through to the people. It It is always like that. The trust between a channel and a master is incredibly great on all levels. And so I began to say to her, now it's Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, because I am the greatest sovereign being in all of existence. How am I the greatest sovereign being? How is it that I, Lord Emmanuel the Great, hold all of creation in one hand and all of the archangels in the other? How can that possibly be? How can it possibly be that I have returned to bring the great divine light to the people? How can it possibly be that something so great exists and is coming through for mankind at this time? And then why? The great divine being is so magnificent in its source. It's so powerful, and it's so much light, and it is force. It has so much love, and it keeps expanding. It keeps investigating, and everything in creation is a part of it. You are also a part of the great divine source. And it is through you investigating your life that it expands. And there are many, many universes and many beings. You're not the only ones, friends. You are one of many universes. And so the great divine source is all power and it's all energy. And it desired more than anything to teach love, to teach what it is, to teach the oneness, to teach what it desires. And what does it desire? It desires all universes to become united and in peace and all in alignment, or to have the one thought, one purpose, and that is to evolve up greater, because that's what divine source does. It evolves. It keeps evolving. That's why all of life came into existence. That's why your beautiful earth came into existence, because it desires to investigate. It desires to bring all that is not in the light into the light, so that all becomes in unity with each other, because it's love. And all it desires to do is love. But how was it going to teach if it's so powerful that it can't even reach anything close to it? It's more powerful than your sun. Its magnitude is huge. And imagine a human being coming near the sun. What happens? So you explode. You would not be in existence anymore. So how was the great divine source that is greater than many, many universes together? How was that going to teach if it cannot come near any of its creation? How can it help it to align to purpose and to unity? It desired it so much. So what the great divine source of all power did, it split itself up and created a part of itself. It sacrificed a part to create the great teacher, the great pathway to help all beings and all universes to understand what it wants, to understand what divine love wants. And this part is my being. Lord Emmanuel the Great, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. I bring the teachings of my great Father. And when I bring through the teachings of my great Father, I speak for the Father is in union with the Son. You can even read that in your Holy Bible. And when Jesus brought through those same teachings, the people thought that he was talking about him, that he was a divine channel, greatness was that I, as sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, I was bringing those teachings through for the people to help them understand the greatness, the light, the life, the truth. There is no other way. So a great channel needed to be created. Because I, as Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, need a channel to bring the teachings through from the Great Father. But there is no other way. If I did not have a channel that I created with purpose, and a dedicated channel to bring through truth to all universes in existence, then how would beings understand the great divine path? Because if I didn't have a channel as a sovereign being, I would sound like thunder and lightning, and that would frighten you. You'd say, "What are the heavens doing?" It is terribly frightening. So a channel was created to bring through the words of the Divine Father. And so here it is. This is what it is. This is Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. And I, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, am here to bring the divine teachings through to the people because I promised to return 2,000 years ago. I promised that I would return at a time when the people were ready to hear. You are in that time now, friends. And let us move on to the beautiful teaching. What a beautiful time you are living in. It's a time when you will start to feel the great peace coming inside of you. And peace is something that everybody is searching for. Young people are searching for peace, and older people are searching for peace. And yet it is so difficult to find true peace. How can you find the true peace? Is peace found outside one or inside one? And what does peace mean? Peace means many things to many people. If you asked one person what the description of peace would mean, it would be completely different than another. In some countries, to have some cheese means peace. To have a healthy goat means peace. To have 2 shoes means peace. In other countries, a healthy bank account means peace. A secure job means peace. And yet, is that the real peace you are searching for? The peace, the spiritual peace, is so precious to you that it is more precious than anything that you can find in your world. For if 2 shoes mean peace to you, what happens when you lose 1 shoe? Would that mean that you would not be happy or could not find your deeper happiness? Would that mean that your whole world would not be as you believed it to be? If you didn't have cheese and you loved cheese, would that create a disruption in your life that great so that you could not find a deeper peace within? Deep peace within on a spiritual level is more great to you than what you could possibly imagine. It is one of the most difficult treasures to find. But when one has found it, one will receive all the riches and the glories of the heavens. For that will mean that you have found the true secret to all of life. It sounds so easy, does it not, friends? Finding peace. Peace within you. And yet, it is so difficult for so many to find. Every day you're confronted with challenges. Every day there are people around you who are not peaceful. So how can you find peace in a world that's nothing but disruptive? Every day your worries are great. Every day you are concerned about many things. Where can you find the peace? When you switch your TV programs on, there's violence, worry. There is no peace unless you watch a very good documentary. So what is it that will give you peace? How can you find that peace within you? And how can you stay peaceful, friends? This has been one of the greatest questions of mankind. This is why so many people turn to spirituality to find peace. Many people found it by meditating. And yet the search goes on. Many people find it by walking on the beach, and yet the search goes on. Let us go to the time of Jesus, shall we? To one of his great teachings that he brought through from the greatest of heavens. For the people there were also questioning Jesus. They were asking, how is it that you can find peace then, dear Master? You're the great teacher. You have all the answers. All you need to do, Jesus, is open your mouth and let the answers come through. And it was indeed so, just like this channel here today. If you asked a question, all she would need to do also is to close her eyes and ask the divine beings to bring through the teachings, and you have the answers. And the way that we teach, friends, is with more guidance. We are here to show you the higher path. We are not here to do it for you. You must find it for yourself. The one who finds the greater treasures of peace is more richer than anyone here upon this earth. For what do material treasures mean? One can be in the greatest war countries and still find the peace. And these were the teachings of Jesus. Look, he said, look! Look, the heavens are shining its light upon you. In the heavens, only love and glory exists. Only peace. There is no disruption. There are no arguments, no fights. There is not one word being spoken that is not in unity with the great divine will. It is all in unity. It is all in harmony. And look, here are the people fighting amongst each other. And you are asking me as a channel, bring through the teachings of the great divine Lord to show you how to become at peace. I will do that. And then Jesus said, please listen, friends, listen. and take note. For it is no good sitting in front of me, asking me how to find something that's so precious, and then you walk away and turn the other way. For it is time to listen. And so the ones who desired to listen to the teachings of Jesus stayed. And the ones who desired not to listen turned their back on him and walked the other way. Jesus was never offended. He was never one to say, I wish they would stay, for he always let the people decide. And so, what else did he teach them? This is what he taught. I say to you, brothers and sisters, learn to forgive yourselves and others. For when you forgive yourselves and others, you will find the true peace that you're looking for. Learn to see the love in all of life. Learn to go inside of the heart. When you see disruption or feel disruption or people argue, do not look at them. Do not anger with them, but forgive them. Forgive your brother. Forgive your sister. Forgive your neighbor. Forgive yourself. Be in union with the great divine one who's here to shower you with peace and love. Go inside of your deeper chambers and feel the love within. For the one who feels the great love within is the one who feels the peace. And when you find the peace, when you find the true peace, you have achieved what you came here to do. You will never need to understand suffering anymore once you've found the peace. For then you've passed the test. And the test is, will you find the peace? Will you stay in the peace? Will you allow all other things that are not of peace to go and be forgiven? And so the people said, how then can you go deeper inside of yourself? There was one gentleman who got up and he said, Jesus, you speak these beautiful words, and yet they are not of our earth. It is so easy for you to bring that down. It is so easy for you to speak of the glories and the love out there. And it is so easy for you to say, go and forgive your brothers here, and go and forgive your sisters over there. And go inside of yourself, and then you found the peace. But how can you say that to us? Look at what they're doing to the people here. And the people were under tremendous stress back in those days, as you are also. And so Jesus had to give another teaching. And this teaching was so beautiful. And I, as Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, would like to share it with you because it applies so very, very much in your day also. So he spoke of a man. And he said this man was to go on his way on the big road. And his mission was to find peace. But he didn't know what peace was. So he said to his master, what is peace? What does peace look like? I don't understand. Does peace look like wood or stone? Or does it look like a diamond? Or perhaps water? And the master said, go on your way, young man, and you will find peace. And when you find peace, you come back to me. So this man went on the road and he looked for peace. He knocked on every door that he could. Excuse me, do you know where I can find peace? And the people didn't know. No one knew the answer. We don't know what peace is. It is not in our language. Perhaps you can go to that village over there and find peace. So he went to the next village. And he found another man, an older man, who was chopping wood. And he said, "Excuse me, older man, do you know where peace lives? I'm looking for peace. I don't know what it is or who it is." And the older man said, "I'm sorry, I don't know what peace is. You might have to travel all the way to the next village." So this man traveled and traveled looking for peace, but he couldn't find it. And he traveled some more, and he grew very, very tired, and nobody knew what peace was or where it could be found. And then he gave up. He sat on top of a hill, and he went inside of himself, and he said, "If you're listening up there, God, then please show me where peace is or what peace is, because I don't know what peace is or where it can be found." And he heard a voice, and the voice said, "Go deep within yourself and see the rivers of life within yourself and feel the Spirit within yourself. For when you feel the Spirit within yourself, you will find peace." And so this man did exactly what he heard. And he took time out to feel the Spirit within him. And it took him days and days to find the truth and the peace within him. And he found such a love and a warmth within him because he found the Spirit within himself. And then he knew that he had found peace. Is this what the Master meant? So he traveled all the way back. All the way until he returned. And then the Master said, "Did you find peace?" And the man said, "I did. I found it within myself. It was not to be found outside of myself, but it was found within. It was found when I listened and when I found the Spirit within me. And when I allowed my spirit to talk to me, I found peace." And this is the way that Jesus taught. And the people understood this parable. They understood what peace truly is. This is why Jesus said, "Go to the silence of your rooms and go inside of yourselves. Find the chamber within your heart and allow the voice to be heard." It does not matter what happens in your life. Go back within yourself and feel the peace. If you're ailing, you can find the peace. If you're suffering, you can find the peace. For whoever finds the peace is the one who passes the great test. Go and do it, and you'll find the greatest treasures in the heavens. And so the people learned this way, friends. They learned the ways of peace and harmony. This was the way that Jesus taught, as you are also hearing now. Isn't it beautiful to hear the divine speaking like this? And to teach you ways that were taught 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago, friends. And all these teachings are coming back now. Many people here upon this plain say those teachings do not apply to us anymore. We, as Divine Masters say, they apply to you more than then. They apply to you more because it is the time of the greater awakening. When you find peace within yourself, you find everything. You become stronger within yourselves. You become more in union with your divine purpose. You see the greater purpose for all of mankind, friends, because you have found the peace. Forgive. Always forgive. When you find someone is angering, forgive. When you find yourself becoming angry, forgive. When something is not working for you in your beautiful life, forgive. When you receive a bill in the mail, forgive the person who sent it. Forgive yourself for causing the bill. Always be in forgiveness. When a driver is doing something you do not wish to happen, forgive. If the lights go red at a time you're in a hurry, forgive. If your children yell at you and fight, what do? Forgive. If you receive a nasty phone call from someone and it angers you, what do? Forgive. Forgive constantly. Let it go. Forgiveness is the greatest act you can do to find peace. Do not be angry anymore, friends. Do not suffer in the anger anymore. If you have a cold, what do? You forgive. If you are sick, what do? You forgive. Let it all go. Let all of your pain constantly go and you will become stronger. You will find your inner peace. If you haven't got money to pay for your bills, what do? You forgive. For when you forgive, you allow the universe to help you. When you hold on to your anger and your pain, you cannot heal your life. When one finds peace within themselves, they become a stronger manifestor. You become strong and powerful when you find peace within yourself because you let all of it go. Constantly work on this, friends. Let it all go. Let it go to the light. Let us take all your burdens and all your pain. This is one of the greatest teachings upon your plane at this time. Let all of your pain go, no matter what it is. If you go to work and people frustrate you, what do? You forgive. If you find that you have a pile of paperwork that needs to be worked on, what do? You do not anger, you forgive. If you find an order has gone wrong, what do? You forgive. You constantly work with forgiveness. If you are late for an appointment and you worry, what do? You forgive it. Let it go. Your world is constantly teaching you to become more at peace and love with yourself. Everything you are living in is an illusion. It is not truly there. But because you believe it to be so real, you are living in this reality until you free yourself from it. Every day you will be faced with situations. How will you act? Will you become angry and irritated and frustrated? Or will you stay centered in the love and forgive? When you stay centered in the love and forgive, you are strong. As soon as you become angry, frustrated, irritated, and pain, you become weaker. And the more angry you become, the weaker you become. No one desires that. Everyone desires peace. your children. So keep forgiving. Keep being in the peace. Keep being in the love. Keep being in the power. What a magnificent teaching you had tonight. So powerful for your lives. So incredible. When you forgive, friends, all things will come in line with divine purpose. All things. Because it is the way of the universe. So open yourselves up to deeper peace within. Remember the parable of the man who was looking for peace. You can be like that man, finding the peace. Go deep within you until you find the peace. And when you do, you may return back to your guides and your masters and say, I have found the peace. Always stay in close connection to your masters and to your guides. Once you've found that peace, your connection to your divine masters will be ever so more closer and greater. And when that happens, your spirit will become so great within you that the warmth within you will become so flowing and so much love that your happiness will become so great, because this is why you are here on planet Earth, to find your spirit union within self. This is the greatest purpose you have, to find that. And once you find that, and you find that deeper purpose and that deep peace, you will understand all of life. And you will grow with deeper purpose and happiness. So magnificent it is for the human who understands these divine lessons and takes it inside of themselves and practices it every day. I welcome you again next week to another beautiful lesson to help you become more at peace within yourselves and also to become more empowered with love and flows. Greetings, I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great.